All right, so let's start my little spiel over again. Sorry about that, guys. Technical audio stuff's never fun. All right, so let's recap. What I'm going to be doing today is continuing on this little app that I started yesterday. The purpose of it is to update that little topic thing at the top of my stream there, which is overflowing, so I need to fix that. And it will also add markers to the stream, so that way it's easy for me to go back and edit things later and know what's going on, as well as tweet and update people as to what's going on, so people can choose to join in based on the topic and what we're currently covering. So pretty exciting. And I got it pretty much done yesterday. It would tweet, it would update the topic, and it would do all kinds of fun things like that. And it would also add the markers into Twitch. However, the code's kind of ugly still, and it didn't actually tweet when I finished yesterday. So let's jump over to my code now that you guys can hear me. And the code, if you were watching yesterday, I couldn't get it to log in and authenticate. The problem was I didn't fill out the redirect URL. So it kept saying, hey, the URL you're passing in is invalid, doesn't match. Once I fixed that, it all started working nicely. All right, so to start out, let's actually just update this. So the topic will be current, and it'll also should tweet out that we're live. So cleaning up, I don't know what to call what we're working on. Yeah, let's do parsing for .NET Core Console. That sounds right. We're parsing arguments for .NET Core. Because that's what we want to do now, is actually make this thing usable. Putting a string in here every time I call a console utility is kind of pointless and dumb. So let's run this. We should watch it update my stream title, which will add the marker. So that said, ooh, yeah, that worked. We got the response back from posting to Twitter, so a tweet was created. And that output also says, and let me bump that font up there. All right, and so it also added a marker into my stream. Perfect. And hey, it updated my topic inside my stream as well. Super exciting. All right. So we know it works, but let's make it nicer. For now, I was just doing really simple on my async tasks. I was just .waiting them. But starting with C#7, we could actually make this an async task. If I can spell async right. So if we make this an async task and I try building, it's going to complain because we also need to make sure that we're using C#7. That's a C#7 feature, and it's not on that by default. So if I go to General, change the default C# language to use latest, it'll always use the latest and greatest, and this should not complain anymore. All right, now let's remove this ugliness, and let's await it. And we're gonna fix all of these as well, since we don't need that. And we want it to actually use some parsing. Right now, passing a message in hard coding is just not fun. So we are going to clean up a few. Let's move that to the top. Let's now jump into, let's add a dependency. So I'm going to go into NuGet and we're going to add mono options. And I think someone did a .core version, which will let us use it in any .NET Core application. Worst case scenario, we could have just grabbed the source file. It's a one source file thing. Let's accept this, get it in here. Mono. So if any of you guys have not used mono options before, it's a great little utility that lets you parse these arguments. And so that way we can know what's coming in and require certain things. We can do a show help. There's a great blog on it. It's an older blog post, but it's still valid today. By Miguel. And let's go in here and start parsing some options. So I'm just going to grab his option set because I like doing that. Makes it easier than filling all this stuff out. And I'm also going to steal his show help. So in case you don't pass anything in, it knows what to do. Okay, indent that because they aren't right. Oh, I need his show help down here. Okay, static void show help. Now let's clean these things up. So I'm going to want one for M or message. Be consistent, keep it all lowercase. And this is, actually, this is a topic, right? We're calling these topics. I'm going to still leave a message. It makes more sense to me. So the message to be slash pitched. Okay, and what we'll do here is string message. Message equals v. We've just set that out, and I'm going to null that thing just in case. So we need a message. There's a couple other options that I want. I want a logout as well. I was also thinking about this. It'd be nice to have different profiles because sometimes you stream from different things or you want things to go different ways. So we'll make it to where we can set a profile. Also, the other day I hard-coded the user path for where my current topic lives, so we need to fix that. The only problem with using P for profile is that's also nice for what's it called, for like the path. I'm going to add one more class in here. I'm going to add a settings file to save some of this stuff for. A lot of things we now need to save into settings. So, all right, so let's do this. Public static class settings. Since we already have this plugin stuff from Montemagno. I got his plugins. We're just going to bring this thing over. We have our current. That way I can do, what's this a type of? Or something like that. I think it's. Now let's just check if that exists. Oh, I don't have my little, sorry, I'm going to do one thing. That utility is called, I'm trying to remember the utility that adds my shortcut things. David, help me out. What's the name of that utility? That key typer thing you just sent me. I can look for it. Recognize the icon. Okay, maybe I can't recognize the icon. Okay, we are not getting icon shortcut helpers today. Sorry. All right, so iSettings, we've got this. No, so we'll do that. So we're just grabbing the current settings. I think that's right. Yay, that's what I want. All right, so public string. Actually, I'm gonna grab a helper method. I like having a little helper method that I use. In Gmusic, I have this set up for shared settings. Data settings. I have this little thing in here. Oh, I don't have that set up in this one. Okay, I thought I did. Never mind. Did I do it in the new one? The new Livestream Gmusic. I think that's where it's at. Music helpers. Just makes it a lot easier to fill out these settings classes. Didn't. Okay, I helped Montemagno write a nice little settings thing that does. Nope, I'm still lazy. Okay, we'll just not do that. All right, so public string, we need a update. What are we going to call that path? Directory path or text path? Yes, text file path. So we'll just do current settings. This needs to be static. We'll do get current settings add or update. Okay, we're going to make our little utility because I'm lazy. So this will just be void static. Can't I type? Static void update value. And I Can't remember if these have to be typed. Yes, they do. So T, we'll just say value, and then we'll do caller member or calling member. Another reason I like my utilities. I can't remember what that is. Alt enter. Okay. Cannot remember that. Calling member, guys. Do you guys remember what that is? Okay, we'll just do it the easy way, the long way. So inside of here, we'll just do name of and text file path. And then we pass in the value is value. No, we don't need one. That would be set. Okay, and then here we'll do get current settings dot get value type or default, name of text file path. I just like doing the automated thing so I don't have to do that name of every time. It just gets it implicitly. And we'll say the default value is null or nothing. That way we have to fill that out and we can error and say you haven't filled this thing out if we need to. We're going to also do the profile. 8 more things, and I think that's good enough for now. So for the profile, now we can say current profile, and this one will just do settings.profile equals value. So that way we can switch between our value, or our saved value. Oh no, that's an int. Does not need to be typed. All right, so we'll just say it's a value, and let's kill the verbosity. We don't need that. We'll do a full show help. That way we can update that. For this message and exit. Okay, we've got that. We've got the profile. We have the message. We need to be able to set that file path. So we'll do another one of these. F file equals file path we will update. Then we do text file path. Yay. All right. Those are all the things we need so far. So message can go away now. We don't need that. And no equals value. All right, so now we've set our text file path. We'll have our message, so that way we know what to send out. We also should have a logout, and then I can test the logging back in as well. And I'm just gonna do logout. Now let's do the shortcut L. No, I don't want a shortcut for that because I don't want to accidentally do that. So I think we'll just need to do that. Okay, and then we'll just say that counts. And actually, we won't have to log out because once we set a profile, the profile won't exist, so we wouldn't need that anyway, but it's right. B, and then we'll do the same thing again as we did for the show help. Should log out equals V is not equal to null. Okay, so we now have some pretty decent parsing stuff here. I think that'll cover everything I need to. So now if I go to run this, it's going to freak out because there's no parameters. So let's put a breakpoint in here. Let's test some parameters. I can do default run arguments. Do it right here. For the arguments, we are going to say profile equals, we'll just do live coding. That way I could have a different one. I think that's all I need to do for that. I don't think I need to do the equals. Maybe I do. We'll find out. So we'll do live coding, and then we'll also say file equals, and let's get this path. My path is already hard coded. So we'll grab this. Why didn't that copy? Just try copy, go back. I'll run again. Looks are working. All right, so we've got a default path, and we need a message as well. So actually, we won't need the message yet, because let's just not tweet. So we'll set the current topic, we'll do that, and we can add some nice little logic in here before we continue. So with these, when we create these, we're just going to go settings dot profile, and we can set a default profile. Right now we're doing nothing, but we're just going to call it default. That way we have a default value. We'll get a profile for that. We'll do the same thing for our Twitch, or I mean our Twitter, things.profile. Okay. Is that complaining? See if this runs. I want to see what comes out of that, and I also need to do, I need to try catch and parse that message options. I'm not actually doing anything with it. And if there's an exception, we're going to return, and we're also going to do show help first. And we'll pass in option set. We'll do a debug right line. So that way, only if we're debugging, we'll see that output. If not, we won't do that. And then if remember right on his blog post, it is just options.parse or something like that. Yep. And then it tells you all the extra stuff as well. We'll grab that as well. I like that. We know what's extra. Okay, so let's now parse this guy. Okay, we'll get a breakpoint there. We'll get the messages. What comes out of that parse is a list of strings, so his code. All right, so we have a list of strings that'll come out of that. That'll parse right. Let's remove all of this stuff because we don't want to just tweet yet. And let's see what happens. Hope I filled all that out right. Okay, we're getting our message is nothing. Perfect. Our arguments are coming in as 3 strings. P live coding, so I might need to do P equals. Let's see if it's smart enough to figure all that for us. Let's go forward again. Oh, I don't have any breakpoints, so I skipped something. One more try. Play again. All right, it's gonna parse. If we have extras, do I have no options? So show help, message, what all did I pass in? I passed in the file, so we should have the file. Settings.file path. Okay, I did something wrong with my parsing because the file did not come out. The file should have. Oh, I probably need to quote that. No, I did quote it. Maybe I didn't. Into quote again. Oh, I did quote it. Yeah. Maybe I need a space. Just see, and let's do the F. Okay, maybe I've got my options wrong. Maybe we'll check his blog post and see if there's something crazy I've done. Really obvious. Oh, I didn't do the dash on those, did I? I think I remember what I did wrong. On these parameters, I need to do dash whatever, and then I can pass what comes in next. I don't have to do the equals, I just have to have the dash in there. My mouse click's not going right. All right, so we'll do dash P, dash F, and now that should work. One more try. It's always helpful when you remember how command line arguments work. Okay, so let's remove some breakpoints so we can see what's going on. Okay, so now extras, I shouldn't have any. Perfect, I have no extras. I now have a file path set. Beautiful. And I also have, did I set my profile? I can't remember. Profile, it's also set. Perfect. Okay, getting somewhere. Now I can just do, okay, I think that's all we'll need there. We now have the messages coming out. Now let's make everything actually use these things. So options, this options thing is nice. It'll just do everything from the option set and print all that out. So we can actually test that. Where Twitch is now using that profile. This, we need to change this so it will go to, let's add some error stuff in there. And we will say if string dot is null or white space, not the path settings dot, let's do our path equals settings dot text file path. And so if our path is empty, let's throw an exception. Or we can just not write to that path. We'll just do console.writeLine, skipping, writing to file path not set. Okay, that should be good. And we also need to throw a return on there. Code, perfect. Okay, so update topic is fixed to use our new stuff. This is now using our new stuff. That can be changed. Okay, I probably want to change all these to be return a Boolean if it was true, successful or not. So we're just going to try catch them all. That way if they blow up, we will write out the line EX, and then we will return false. Okay, perfect. So let's do thing was success. Okay, perfect. All right, so now we can do if show help. Got that parsed, so if show help, return, and we'll just show help. Okay, so now we can show our help, and that will update. We will signed. All right, so show help is false, should log out equals false. So let's also pass in full should log out, so that way we know ahead of time. So first we will say if should log out, PI log out. That's just a function. Okay, so now we'll do the same thing for our Twitter. Now it'll make you log out and log back in before we tweet. Actually, I probably want a way to do this without sending a message. Because you should be able to just say, hey, log out. So I don't like what I just did there. Let's fix that. Get rid of that. We will now log out separately. So I need a way to generate these things better. So public, no, we don't need to make that public. So static, Twitter API. And we'll just do this. So that way we can do those independently. And get a function better. Okay, why is that complaining? Okay, type things right. It's the Twitch API. Okay, so Twitter API, we'll just now say get Twitter API, so we can do that for logging out. We'll do the same thing for our Twitch one, which is above, there's the Twitch one, right? The new Twitch API. All right, so now we have a get Twitch API we can use. So we can use that in both places. Perfect. And we could do something to auto cache that if it exists. Why not? That way you're tweeting and logging out, it doesn't do it twice. Rare accounts, that's not going to happen very often. So, but oh well. Optimize. All right, so now inside of here, we will just say do this, Twitter API equal, or question mark, assign it. If you don't do that, it's always just going to new up one anyway. Now let's do that for Twitch API. I don't know why I copied and pasted that because it's not that useful. Okay, so now we'll do Twitch API. Oh, what did I do there? Wow, it did not like that undoing. Just fix it. Twitch API looks really funny to me for some reason, right? All right, so Twitch API. Oops. Equals, and not question mark, 2 question marks. Perfect. So now if either of those are null, it'll make a new one and assign it, so that way I can just keep calling that thing. Perfect, got that, got that. So now up here we can say if should log out, we'll do get Twitch API dot log out and get Twitter API dot log out. Perfect. Now, one more thing. Well, now we'll just check if the message, I think that covers everything we need. If the message is null, just don't do anything. And at that point, if we've gotten this far, so if message, yeah, I need to check if we've done something. The only thing that we would have done for is if we've shown help or logged out. We could make the log out a return after that. We'll check this. So if string.isNull or white space message, perfect. We'll say if should log out, if not should log out, we'll do show help, and we'll pass in the parameter set, else return, and return either way, really. All right, perfect. So now we have that. So we have our arguments. I don't need that thing. We can now say, await all of this stuff happening. Oh, this update topic was avoid. Let's make these things all Boolean so they say if they were successful or not. True. And what did I say on my error? I had a nice little error. Okay, so we'll say we're failing to update Twitter, and we'll do the same thing on Twitch. Okay, so we failed to update Twitch. Let's make this a task bool too, even though it's not doing anything asynchronously. Could do write all async. Write all text async. We'll await that now. Do our same try catching. And since I said I'm skipping, I should return false. Okay, let's try catch all this. And so, all right, so we'll catch that. Failed to update topic text file. That way we know what failed. And return false, so we have that. Send message. I want to change this because it's not just sending a message. This is that marker. Actually, the show authenticator needs moved out. It should not be called then. This gets set up here. How did I not notice that before? Really bad, really bad. All right, because that is global to do our login. So if you just log into Twitter only, so set marker in Twitch. Okay, so now we probably have some stuff we can update on our feed as well. We have it working. Wondering what our next topic should be. Someone in chat, pick the next topic so I know what to write next. All right, so we have this. return false, or dub what we're doing now so I know what to send. Okay, that, I think we just now did do it. Now, at this point, before I was doing them in order, but I don't want to do that. Task dot when all. We will just await task dot when all. And I'm not actually going to use if they were successful or not. I probably should, but I'm outputting that it worked. So, and in here we'll just do, I think we can just, yeah, I can just do them as params. So we'll do set marker in Twitch, message. We will also do our file. Let's write the file. I want to write the file first because I want that to update as fast as possible. That is update topic. That go first. So now we have our topic, our message, and we need tweet. And I can probably throw something in there like disable tweeting or whatever. So if you don't want to tweet every message update if you're doing it too often. We could also throw in a timer thing. So like if I just updated in the last 5 minutes, let's not tweet again. We don't want to harass everybody. So I might do that anyway. Set, what's my tweet one? Tweet update. All right, yeah, let's do that while we're at it because I don't want to harass everybody too much. So let's go back to our settings and we'll do one more of these. And we will do date time. And instead of profile, this is going to be called last tweet time. And then this will persist between sessions, which is nice. So date time, min. All right, we'll say we've never tweeted. Worst case scenario. So now what we can do is inside of our Twitter one, oops, wrong, that's our auth storage. We need to go back to Twitter. Okay, so back to here, we'll do our Twitter one, and we'll say if datetime dot now minus, right? Yeah, minus settings dot last tweet time is less than, this comes out as a time span. And we'll do, I hate doing these in seconds, so we'll just do time span dot from minutes. 5 minutes. We want to output what we're doing so we know. Right line. Skipped eating too soon. And we also could do a cooldown if we want. We did put a $sign up here so we can now, oops, wrong area, right there. Okay, so now we can do, just put that same thing in there. Actually, our equals, we'll do this so we're not calculating it twice. I know on my computer it's not going to matter, but I'm always performance conscious. Don't want to be doing that all the time, especially if you're doing things with UTC date. It gets insane, that calculation. Okay, so perfect. Let's put a return in there so it actually doesn't tweet. All right, exciting. We now have a thing, it should work. Oh, return false. It did not tweet. All right, and since the time since tweeting didn't work, and guys in chat, you guys are not helping. What was my topic? What should I say the message should be? All right, so let's get rid of Hello World too. That is still sitting there, and I always do my whatever first. The theme helper. All right, perfect. And to be honest, I also do, oh no, we do it. If there's no arguments, we do show it, okay. So I also say show help equals after we parse, I like to say show help, just in case no one types anything in there. Oh, wait, we'll just do for args dot question mark dot length is question mark 0 equals 0. I can't remember if the args can come by as null. Not 2 equals. Yeah, it was 2 equals. Or if there are no args, the length equals 0. So if you forgot to type anything in, we want to show the help. I'm not sure if that question mark's needed, but oh well, we're doing it. Okay, I think we have something. Now, once we have this done, I'm going to add a bash alias because I don't want to type out .NET space the path to this thing and then run it every time. That would just be painful, really painful. So I'm not doing that. So should we run it once first, or should I just try it from the command line? Okay, we're just gonna believe my code is perfect and we'll run. So let's build this whole thing. What we'll do is we're going to go add an alias now. Let's kill all these old windows. Yes, I want to terminate you in your dead window, so you shouldn't care. All right, so we're going to do code bash profile in my terminal. What that did was it told VS Code to open my bash. That way I can throw this thing in here, and I'll have an alias called topics. And all I'll have to do is topic space. I'm not logged in yet, so it will log in. We're going to put in here the -m, so I don't even have to type the message. I'll just do -m and automatically for me, so I'll just do topic and the message. My other commands won't necessarily work because of that, because I'm going to put those whatever's in the args into a string, so that whole thing will be considered a message. But yeah, let's restart this now. So let's bump this font back up. All right, so now I should be able to just type in topic and out of this, and let's hope this thing works. So our topic is utility. Now, I don't know, what is the topic? I don't know what I'm going to work on next. Do you guys have anything next, or are we done? I'll just say it's finished then. All right, so, oh no, images. That's what we want to do now. So let's just say working on images. Working on uploading GIFs. Sweeky, I'm not going for GIF. You can make a GIF maker for me. We could. The API is the same, but I'm not doing GIFs yet. We're just going to work on getting my current stream image and putting that in there. So working on, we'll just say uploading images to Twitter. Okay, now that might be too long since I haven't fixed my stream stuff yet, so let's just see what happens. Oh, come on. I did do an M. All right. This is why I had that code in there before. Let me undo a bunch really quick and then redo. This is why I had that args code up there. Is it back? I wanted to see any, actually we can rewrite it. I just want to have all that code. I wanted to see what arguments go into it since, yeah, it's hard to tell. All right, so right here we will now do and now let's add our $sign. All right, so now what we can do is we can just do string.select. Oh no, .concat. Or no, it's join. Join's the one I want. String.join. And inside of here we will do space, comma, that. And now we can just say args. Right? Update. Oh, I'm missing a parenthesis. Okay. Why is that not happy? Unexpected token. String dot. Oh, it's on the wrong side. There we go. Order of operations, always important. All right, so let's build this again. We're going to run it from my command line. And it says args -m space. Oh, I need to quote things. I didn't think I would since, oops, Slack again, force quit. Okay, since inside of my bash, oh, I don't have that here. All right, so we'll just do bash, code slash bash profile. I thought I quoted that so I wouldn't have to. Does that not respect that? That's really sad. So no, but I don't even have to quote it. It's seeing those all as individual arguments. I'm going to have to because it's how it's passing it in. So it's passing them in as individual arguments. Lame. So what I need to do is just do topic. Actually, why type when you can press up? All right, so this time it should, if I hit it, topic was that, arguments, it still separated it out. Something with the bash profile stuff, it is not liking. And I am hitting the, it definitely did update because we're now seeing args. I think I can just do, no, it thinks it's one. I don't like that because if I don't do all of them, okay. My bash food stuff is not, well, let's just try that. Let's just see what it does. Let's quit terminal, restart, so the profile will go, and then we'll do, again, topic. See, just press up. Hey, that did it. Okay, the quotes were bad. I didn't want the quotes. So now it's like, hey, log into Twitch. So a window popped up you guys can't see, but I'm going to copy over the redirect, paste that in. Yes, now let's log into Twitter. So Twitter should be updated. I mean, Twitch should be. Success! Lots of junk. I probably don't need to output all the Twitter stuff because that is really, really, really ugly. But hey, I can check to see if it tweeted. Let's load up Twitter. I'll bring that over. Logged into Twitter on that. Of course I am. Okay, so let's go to my tweets. All right. Uploading images to Twitter REST API. Follow along at. It worked. So we have our Twitter and our messages now updated everywhere. And I didn't do one too long. And Twitch also said it was successful. So that's super exciting. So now we get to all the people liking on Twitter. All the buzzes. All right. So now we get to deal with actually uploading the image. I don't like the upload image API. It's multi-part stuff. I was reading through it, and let me bring it back up. I think we can just pass in as a parameter the raw binary. We can do base64 encoded. It recommends you don't because it makes it bigger. I think base64 encoded stuff's about 20% bigger. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just download the image. Let's see how big this thing is. So if I go to this URL and you swap out your name there, we'll put this into code so you can read it better. It will work. So I'll need a way to specify the Twitch user. We need to add that extra settings. I'm just gonna default it to me. Hey, and it updates to the current preview, which is me looking at docs. So that's nice. Okay. Oh, I couldn't see my the reason I couldn't see the chat to see that you already checked was my little pop-ups used my same chat window. That's why it's also off screen. So exciting. All right, so we have this URL. Let's try downloading stuff. Let's see how big it is. Actually, we can just inspect. Doesn't inspect tell us how big it is? No, would I have to go to, I would have to go to, I just switched to Firefox instead of Chrome. I'm not used to their tools. Oh no, this is Chrome. I went back to Chrome for my console. So we can go into sources, see that, and that is, how big is it? Does it not tell you? Lame. All right, so we'll just download it and check how big it is. All right, so let's jump back to our app. Let's commit stuff. Well, this is all working. Added mono options. Oh, my stuff's running away from me. My mouse is running away. Okay, added mono options. Now uses global settings, and that's good enough. Push that up. You guys can all check that code out. Now let's go into the settings and public static string. Actually, I am lazy. First copy this somewhere. Actually, we'll come back. I know where to get it from. All right, so let's do this. My preferred Git client, I use I'll use command line for some things. I have no problem jumping down the command line, but I actually like this GitHub app. Um, After I commit, I'll show you what, or once I do some changes, actually, let's just save it. I'll tell you why. I like that it shows me all of the noise. So this extra white space I don't need, so I can unselect that and go by line. And now it's only going to commit those lines that I wanted. And it's possible to do that with other clients, but I just like how well GitHub does that. It's just, all right, just commit these lines. And especially if I'm doing a pull request, I really want to make sure I don't mess up someone else's formatting or things like that. And so I can quickly just browse the changes and without going through a bunch of headache, reselect things. And there's times where I will just selectively commit this. So test, I test commit it. I would revert that to get rid of that white space, disregard changes or a change I didn't want, and then undo, and it's as if nothing happened. So I really like that I can do that. So I love the GitHub app just for those little nuances. And yes, I can do that with other apps, but I just like how well this does it. So my 2 cents on that. I mean, you still need to know, oh, I didn't spell Twitch right. You still need to know the command line tools like git bisect is, oh, that is, okay, not double click, that was my problem. Like things like that are so useful, nice to know. But yeah, all right. So now we have our Twitch profile. Let's go over here and we're going to do a whole nother thing. We probably want to add I don't know, I'm debating if I should have a setting to get the image or not. I don't know, let's just see if we can get the images to upload. That's my fear right now. All right, so static, let's do, I like how this is just one big giant static class. Although we have now tweeted to Twitch, we've updated a file locally, and we're posting to Twitter. I mean, Twitch and Twitter, and we are only at 150 lines of code with global settings and parsing the arguments. That's pretty dang exciting, even though it's just one big giant static class. And I mean, technically we could have moved the settings into here. I don't count the auth controller stuff, just because that's not application specific. It's stuff that I don't include in my library because people on iOS don't need it, but that's library code. It doesn't count. Okay, so let's go in here and do a public static task, and we're just gonna say biter. I'm trying to, they don't tell you on this. I'm gonna base64 encode it, because I want to. Base64 encoding, at least I know what to do. Whereas what they're saying on here, just put the raw bytes. I don't even know what that'll do. We can try it. Dates, I mean, that just seems, oops, I'm on the wrong one. This one. It's like, why is that screen so small? All right, it just seems really, really weird to do raw binary content in that parameter. I don't even know if it can do that. Right. So what we'll do is it doesn't matter. We're going to do this anyway. We're going to do upload photo string URL. And then what we need to do is get that media ID back so we can attach that to the tweet. So this thing will just return a media ID. And for now, and then we can just check if it's null. Don't worry about it. All right, so our URL is upload/media.json. Oops. Path equals this. Okay. Now, for this URL, I need to download this URL. I can reuse one of my existing APIs and just use their, I might do that, because all I need is the binary data. Hey, thanks for following, I can't see, I need to minimize my stuff. I can't see the full name. Oh, it's Alexi! Hey, thanks for following. Glad you joined. I need to change my screen size a little bit so I can see a little bit more stuff. All right, so let's go and just get that data. So we will just do var Twitch. Actually, we're just gonna use the Twitter one. No, we'll use the Twitch one because it is Twitch. Twitch API equals, trying to think, it's dirty, but it's gonna work. We're just gonna do it. Okay, so Twitch, yeah, we're gonna, Twitch API equals get Twitch API. I'm really tempted to just create my own HTTP client. All right, I'm gonna do it. It's cleaner. And then we need our options in here. HTTP client equals new HTTP client. All right, so we have our client, and we will now just go client. Let's first deal with getting our data. Our image equals HTTP client dot get async. Make this thing async. And we will do a URL so we get our actual, yep, let's do that. All right, and we need to await that. And now what we can do is say var data equals await image. Oh no, that is name things the right way. That's our image response. So image response dot get up got content dot. I don't actually use this very often because I wrote my wrapper. Read as byte array. That's what we need. And then from there we can go. Okay, so we've got our byte array. Now we can just. I'm tempted to just try pass. No. Let's just see what happens if we. I don't even know how to post that on there. Never mind. It needs to be a string. So do I just toString that thing? I don't know. That's weird. All right, we're just gonna base64 encode it. So encoding. So what is it under? It's under text. So system.text.encoding. Right. Coding dot. How do you base64? I always have to Google this. That's to go back and forth from a string. I thought there was something just right in there. Okay, I base64 in Gmusic API. I know for a fact I do that. So inside of here, it's sad I'm checking my own code how to base64 encode. Never remember all this stuff. Is it convert? Can I just do a convert on that? I think this music provider has base. Oh, it's convert.toBase64 string. Thank you. Cannot remember that. It's like a lot of times you're going back and forth from bytes to strings. It's all on system encoding until you're trying to 64-bit encode thing. Then it's convert. All right, data. So var coded equals that. All right, so now we should be able to just post this to Twitter. So var API equals new, and I'm gonna have to parse this thing out appropriately. So we'll say, get Twitter API. We get our Twitter API dot, this is a post. So we are going to, I'm not posting any content, so I wonder if I was to post that in, I don't know. We're just gonna say we're gonna post nothing into it, and we're gonna go to this path and our query parameters. Query parameters equals new dictionary. And let's go back to their documentation so I know exactly what that thing's called. Yeah, I bouncing back between things, and it's remembering everything is always hard. It's never easy. It's always you like, I know the general idea, but remembering the exact thing is hard. All right, so we'll just do this, and I think I can just do that. Encoding. Right, or it's equals. Right, I can't remember. Or do I have to box it? I have to box it to do that. Syntax. That's the right syntax. Oh, encode. It was right, but just spelled wrong. No, it's encoding. It makes more sense than encoding, not verb. All right, so we will var result equals await that, and this thing might blow up. Actually, let's be honest, it's probably gonna blow up. So let's just wrap this whole thing in a try catch. Oh, where'd that brace go? Oh, it went to the wrong space. Okay, click there. Okay. Oh, just I'm scrolled over. That's why it looks funny. Let me re-scroll. No. Wrong button. You just undo. Okay, still have one weird one there. Remove that try. We're going to scroll back over, put one there. There we go. And let's write this exception so console.writeLine ex. All right, let's put this here because we might need that. Let's put a breakpoint after this. I'm going to output the result for right now because I don't even know what's going to come back. I guess the doc tells us. And we'll need to deserialize that to get the media ID. But for now, we'll just do that. And we are going to cheat. I don't want to do anything parameters. Let's just say this. We'll wait. Upload photo, return. We're putting a return in there just because we don't want to actually tweet yet. We're not ready for that. Then my URL is this guy. Breakpoint there. Okay, moment of truth. And actually, I'm going to go kill all my default run stuff because I don't want it logging. No, it's just setting my file. Okay, for some reason, until I move that window, I cannot click in. Need to file that bug. Again, I am on our dailies, so I'm always on a new version. And like I said, I get to find the bugs, so you don't have to. Oh, I am trying to make the API call before I register all my SimpleAuth stuff. Again, that all has to go to the top. It said, hey, you haven't given us an auth storage, so we don't know how to save and retrieve your tokens. So it yells, all right, args, nothing. Console.writeLine. How far? The user string is too long. All right, I'm going to have to deal with the multi-part encoding, and I was not looking forward to that. You know, we're going to try one other thing. We are going to try, instead of that, they should be nice and just let this work. I should be able to just post the data without initializing it first and just say, I am doing media. Okay? I'm not going to give it a value, and I'm just going to post that binary as what I'm uploading. See what happens. Oh, and I need to set the, let's set it to forms encoded. Oh, never mind. I get it. I understand the API now. Exciting. Okay, so this is multi-part forms encoded stuff. So we can handle this. This we can solve. We don't do it as a query parameter. That is wrong. And so I know exactly what to do. All right, so inside of here, one of the other overloads is content type, right? Thought I let you override the content type by passing that in. That's right, we'll just do our own HTTP content and that'll deal with it. All right, so var content equals new HTTP content HTTP content, and it is this API in a long time either. There are specific ones. We're gonna jump to the GMusic, so I mean the SimpleAuth source. That's where I do all of this. I have that up? Nope. So let's go to projects, SimpleAuth. It's inside of source, API. This is where all the web request stuff happens. So I create inside of the send message stuff, send object message. So HTTP content, I use that as well. Oh, send object. And where's the string content? So I do string content, and that's where the media type comes from. And string content, what you use for the XML stuff? I mean, the form's encoded? I can't remember. We're going to say it's string encoded. For that URL, do URL encode those? That's right, we'll just do string encoded. On those, you say it is the multi-part form stuff. Okay, let's just Google how to do that really quick in HTTP client. I just want to make sure I'm doing that right. Stack Overflow. HTTP client, new HTTP request, content forms URL encoded. That's what it was. I knew it was one of those funky things. All right, the string just didn't sound right because we're not dealing with string. I'm not going to do the multi-part content. I can do that, but I'm going to do a body since it's just one image. I'm going to see if they'll let me just do it as one. We'll see. I hope so. So now inside of here, I can pass in, what does it need? It needs a key value pair. So I have to actually say it's a new key value pair. Awesome. All right, so we will say new key value pair, and we will say that the string is, yeah, I mean, I could do the multi-part, but I don't want to. Multi-part's complicated because you have to do the initial start, then you have to change the URL. It just gets nasty. So if I just say media data, I'm going to keep it as the media data, because why not? Media data, and then we will say encoded. That should be what I need, right? Did I not do that right? Cannot create. So it's key value pair. I didn't even read what I just. Was it not key value pair? I was just Googling it. Yeah, add new key value. Oh, I have to tell it the type. All right, so we will say new key value pair. And we will do this forms encoded require string. Does. I think I could just implicitly get that from what I'm doing. All right, so now we could just post this content to that path. We should get something different. Actually, let's put a breakpoint first because I want to see how big this string is getting. Our data, it is a lot of bytes, but it's not that big for that image. Okay, and then let's look at the encoded. It's not going to show us how many bytes it is, but it gets a lot bigger. All right, so we are just going to press play, and we got an exception. Why is the invalid URL? Did I do this wrong? So post HTTP content and the path is that path should not be too far along. And since that's the content body, it should be fine. All right, so we're doing that. We're going to post the content. Worst case scenario, we can override the send method and make sure what's happening is right. Because that's the body, so it should be fine. Let's get our exception. Let's read in and see if there's anything else going on. I'm not creating. Okay, because that's totally how we were posting our other Twitter one. That works. That's weird that it's inside of. Let's see the stack trace on that because it looks like it's inside of simple auth somewhere, trying to make a URI or URI escape. Oh, what's that stack trace? It's the encode. It is too big to URI encode it. So it's URI encoding the base 64, and it's not liking that. That's lame. Okay, I'm gonna have to drop down to multi-part. I didn't want to do that. Or do a smaller image. So let's just say we're going to do that. I wonder what will happen if we say, probably gonna freak out on the form encoded stuff. Yeah, that's not gonna like it. Actually, let's just equals data.toString. I'm just curious if that's even something we can use, or if it's going to be like byte array name. I really didn't want to do the multi-part. I don't like that stuff. Been a while since I've done it. Yeah, it's just gonna say byte array. We could do. I wonder what would happen if we do system encoding. Let's go to ut dot t8f dot code. Wait, no, it's get string. That's what it is. I'm just no idea what's gonna come out of this. Let's actually do that at our s parameter. That way we can see. This might work. It might be too big though. What's it complaining about? Oh, missing parenthesis. Okay. S is going to be a weird malformed string. It's not even going to let me view it. That's going to lock up the debugger. Okay, let's stop being lame and drop to multi-part. Now I have to remember how to do that. Yeah, it does not like that at all. Okay, so let's read their multi-part docs. I really hate multi-part. Now is a great time to update our stream though. Oh, I can't because the build is bad. Let's uncomment this. Comment that out. Oh no, I don't want to run it. I just want to build it now. And now we can drop down to our little helper. I can find the right window. The big one in the back. All right, so now we can say images in our multi-part. Okay. Now, just for kicks, we're gonna test double tweeting. It shouldn't tweet. Hey, it didn't tweet. I've got to clean up all this output. Failed to update Twitter. Didn't tell me why. Oh, forbidden. Twitter's like, you just did that. So something's wrong with my check. I should debug that too. All right. Either way, so now our topic's updated. Yes, new topic. Let's fight multi-part content. Last time I did this, I was doing on GitHub, I was doing an Amazon client for and Amazon did multi-part. Let's find one of my repos. Amazon Cloud Drive, this one. And I fought it once before, and do I want to fight it all again? Okay, multi-part. So multi-part content. The biggest problem I have with the multi-part is I need to send it. So let's look at that API. There isn't a clean API. It's broken up into multi-parts. So I do an upload, and then I do an append. So I probably do the multi-part as the upload, and I have to do an init first to say, hey, I want to upload stuff. I'll do a post. It will get me something back. Okay, let's do that. We're just going to say how big it is, and then inside of that, we'll then do the upload append. Just want to say, hey, let me post this, and you'll deal with it. Like, I don't want to even do it as a form encoder. I just want to pass bytes. Send you bytes. Okay, it must be under 5 megs. I think we're under 5 megs. We're not going to check because I'm lazy. There's no way that image is 5 megs. Not that resolution. So, all right, let's do this. So actually, I don't even have to do proper multi-part because I can just send one. All right, so into here. So we're going to break this up. We have our upload photo. Let's recomment this stuff back in. Hopefully that thing tweeted. Did anyone check? Hopefully Twitter worked. The first one worked. We saw it said it was successful, so it had to have worked. I actually ran into this when I was doing auto tweeting in Gmusic. They have a tweet frequency that they freak out about. So if someone already listened to, even if it was a different song, a lot of times it just wouldn't update what they were listening to. It was weird. All right. All right, so we're going to have, that's our path. We're going to say var init equals api.post. Again, we're going to need this forms encoded stuff. We're going to pass, we're just going to create this, this new content. And instead of doing media data, I need to go back over here on, is this the init one? That's the append. Here's the, no, okay, I lost the, okay, here it is. All right, so we have to do a command. Command is required, and it is set to init case sensitive. This is a really ugly API. All right, total bytes. We can do that. Man, I have to new these things up like, okay, I am very tired of doing this. So what we are going to do is static enumerable of key value pair string create I don't even know what to call this thing. Yeah, no music one, pretty good. I don't have music, which is kind of sad. I could make it to where I can hear my music separately, but I was lazy. Actually, I didn't even set my audio right. So yeah, if I was listening to music, you guys wouldn't hear it anyway. Nice. All right, now let's pass in a dictionary now. So what we'll do is a dictionary string dictionary. That way I can just do this in a nice cleaner syntax because this new keying up the key value pair stuff is ugly. So what we'll do is dictionary dot select new key value pair, and we will pass in oh, I need to do this right. Okay, let's just do x dot key x dot value. It's gonna be so much cleaner, and I can use the new syntax on that because. And since this is static, okay, do key value pairs. Let's just make an extension method. All right, so let's just do init. Actually, I don't need to do that at all. All right, so let's clean this thing up. So now we can just do new. Isn't there a syntax I don't have to do dictionary? I can't remember. So we're going to do a dictionary of string, and we're going to do this. Wrong keys. I need this one. And that's that right. This is okay. I'm gonna move this out because it's getting really ugly. I don't like that. Ugly code is no bueno. Fix that. All right, so we're gonna say var params equals this, and then we can even just reuse that same one. So let's have an equals there. Ditch this parenthesis, and now we can do that. Oh no. Did I just lose stream? Oh, nope, it's back. Okay, parameters, and now we can just do parameters dot to key. Should be able to do that, right? Does it need to be in a separate static class? Lame. Let's pass parameters into it. Like that other syntax better. All right, so we'll just do that. I like where this is going. All right, so let's, oops, wrong button. Okay, so let's hit that down, hit this down. Let's throw in, we need to say how long it is and the media type. Total bytes equals data.length toString. We also need media type is, what's this URL? These are PNGs, right? JPEG, okay, perfect. Media type equals image slash JPEG. I think that's the right one. Someone wants to verify that. That'd be great. Okay, let's go. Where was I? Lost my tab. That's the append. This is the init. Okay, media category. This is not required. That's not required. Ignore that stuff. Perfect. Okay. So now we have our parameter that we're going to pass in. And we're going to pass this to into our path. Okay. Now that should give us back. Let's look at our docs. What's this give back? Okay, so we'll just say it's a dictionary of strings. That should go perfectly into that. So post. Now var media ID equals init, and it is media ID. I had copied. Okay, we could have made that into a JSON object, but I'm lazy. Oh, I need to await. Okay, now we have a media ID. We're just going to finish this up and try it all in one go and hope it works. They should be happy. Let's hope. All right, so that's that one. Now what we can do is we can actually upload that thing. We will want to, right here, return media ID. If it fails, we don't want to return the media ID. We have a media ID. Let's look at this append. All right, so our append is almost the same thing, just the raw media instead of the bytes. Wait, a name is required? Did I have a name on the other one that I missed? Name is required. Okay, let's not forget name. So we'll put, let's just pass in that string. Name equals the URL. We're not fancy at all. We're just going to pass in the URL. Okay, so let's jump over and post this again. So now we need to, that content. Oh, thank you, Chase. Got a popcorn bag delivered. My kids are awesome. If I eat that, though, I'll be way too thirsty. Yep, I've got one, Stuart. Thank you. I now have 2 popcorn bags. Do you want to go put that one on the table? No? All right. Do you want to go out really quick? Yeah. Go get underwear on before you come back in. Joys of working from home. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Where was I? Right. We were going to post now and change all this parameters. We're now going to change parameters. Actually, let's just create a new one because I need to change too many things and remove too many things. I copied what I needed. See all the things you guys miss out working from home with little kids around? Okay, so we need the same name. We now need the media ID. Oh no, that's the, let's go back to here. We have name, command. Why do we need name again? It's weird, we have the media ID. So command is now append. We have the name. I wonder if the order matters on this stuff. It shouldn't, but I'm going to be particular, make sure we do it right. Media ID, we just did that. So media ID equals. Okay, so now we have media ID, segment index is required, media is required. We're not going to base64 encode this thing anymore. Let's get rid of all of that nonsense. Oh, how am I going to do that? It's a string again. How big can the URL encoding work? I'm gonna run into the same issue I had before. Let's Google. Let's just look it up. I wish that exception would have told me. That would have been really nice. Because being bodies, wow. No, that's for URL for a browser. Okay, I'm gonna try doing this a bit up in case. Okay, I'm gonna do this so it'll blow up because I don't want to keep uploading to them and them block me because I'm doing things wrong. So what we will do first is we will not do this one yet. And we're just gonna call this other one, which is, copy that again, it's the same exact thing. So in here, we are going to just see what it does. Maybe it'll give me a good exception this time. So that's the init. This is the upload. Must be less than 5 megs. They're saying I can do 5 megs, but the problem is they need it as a string inside a form. No, if I do it as a multimedia form data, it might not have that same limitation. So I need to make sure while doing this, append. Okay, let's go back to my multi-part stuff just because I can't remember. And then I have that just right there. All right, so we're gonna do a new multi-part data. And we're gonna add the form data. Okay, so we can do this. We can, I wonder if I can add that to the URL instead of doing it all as one object. And then, no, I don't know. I have no idea how it's gonna like this. I don't like this nonsense. All right, so let's actually read their docs one more time. So let's go to the guide. Okay, no, so tweeting, okay, animated GIFs, that's nothing specific. Okay, overview, let's see if the overview says something again. Nope, image size of 5 megs, uploading that, okay. Upload the media files using chunked. Oh wait, there's a simple, or older simple. We want simple. Why didn't I find this simple? So what if I just do a simple as the multi-part form and just go with it? Response gives us back the ID. This is way better than making multiple requests. I'm not supporting GIFs though, sorry Squeaky. Okay, so let's do it as a multi-part form data. My only question is how to put that byte array in that, in .NET. Because I've never used that. I mean, technically the code, I think it's going to be the same. Let's just see what this does. C# HTTP client. So I need the data part, not just to be text. That's the problem. So upload bytes. Okay. Hey, this is looking good. Multi-part code. Content upload. The biggest thing, I'm not sure how to do the set the data to equal. I need to give it a parameter, and that's what I'm not sure on. Okay. Can I just say, okay, image content equals that. So they're just saying they post as that, they add the, no, that's the content header. Okay, that's the content. I'm really not sure how this works. I wonder if there's a C#, a C# Twitter one somewhere. Maybe someone else has done it. Hey, someone's asking how to do that with no third-party libraries. Okay, so they're saying String builder. Wow, they are saying with a string builder. Okay, so they get that. Okay, it comes down to, I've already got the OAuth stuff done. We're done with that. So we're not doing a web request. Are there any other answers on there? Is that it? Okay. Block copy the stream together? That is really, really ugly. Okay, let's see if anyone else answered something. On the Twitch forums directly. Okay, we've got that, got that. String builder. Notice the multi-part boundaries worked. Basically added 2 dashes at the beginning of the open boundary and put 2 dashes beginning and end of closing the boundary. Then remove content image and it's now uploading. Okay. Let's read this one really quick. So I don't need any of that, don't need any of that. That's all for getting the hash. I've got that working. That's all in my library, it's taken care of. Okay, so image data. This is so ugly. Am I gonna have to run that through the encoding as well? I forgot they do all this weird encoding stuff. Dude, I might just base 64 this thing, and we're gonna put a limit on it because base 64 is so much easier and it's bigger, but I can deal with that. So I am sorry. I am switching. They say not to, it's bigger, but I'm confused, so I don't want to be confused. All right, and I just deleted all that. It's all right, I remember how to do it. Var and equals convert dot to base 64 to base 64, and we'll just say data. Man, this is ugly. Uploading an image should not be this hard. Okay, so Dwayne, you're saying do multi-part form data content plus byte array content. So my biggest thing is they want me to say what the query, what the query parameter, or what the parameter is. So it's specing the parameter. If I was just pushing up data, that'd be really, really easy, but I don't know how to do it without. That's what's killing me. So that's the part that really confuses me. I'm not wrapping my head around that yet. I'm gonna have to look more into it because I want to do this the right way eventually. Let's grab the segment index. Actually, if I have it as that multi-part, let me do one other thing. If I do this multi-part stuff, I can keep just like posting to it. So at that point, I do content.add. So post the content, and then I think I can just keep posting more to the, can't remember how that stuff works. Okay, I think new multi-port data content, add new byte array content name. Okay, let's try that. I like it. If so, that's super easy. Yeah, thank you. Pair programming at its best. Except there's lots of us. Okay. Oh, that does look right. Okay, so add content string name. Ooh. New byte array content. That is beautiful. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Yes. Okay, I'm making sense of this slowly but surely. Okay, so we can first start with doing the multi-part content data. I wonder if I have to tell it. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so from the content, our okay, now what's that complaining about? Creates a new instance. It needs, no, let's me do that. And then adds So as our add is right, that name. Cannot avoid a void. Oh, because the ad's what's killing me there. All right, we'll come back to that. So we'll say here's our content, right? No, multi-part content dot. Yep. The stream's a tad bit behind, so I caught on a little too late. All right. So now if we do this as the HTTP as the forms URL content, I wonder if we can do this. Forms URL content. We are going to say don't need the total bytes. For the append, we need the segment index. And this is going to equal 1. Is it zero-based? I don't know. Is it zero-based or not? I assume it's zero-based. 0. Okay. So 0, and we're just going to say our image is good enough, we hope. Okay. Oh, let's make that a string. Okay, so we have our media ID. We should be able to undo this init now because this stuff actually should work. All right, so we get that. We get the ID. So we're going to first add this. We're going to go to value key pairs. And we're going to say our parameters and that. Do I need to name that as well? If so, I have no idea what the name is. Nope, it doesn't make me name one. Okay, so we're going to send that first step over. Then right after that, we are going to then send over the data. Let's hope that works. Looks right to me. Anyone have any concerns? Anything that they would do different? Oh, I need to do this part. Okay. Moment of truth, guys. Moment of truth. Let's put some breakpoints in here. Make sure we get things along the way. Run it. What's it yelling about now? Yeah, it's complaining about my extension. Okay, let's unextension this. That's sad, you can't just do that. Extensions have to live in their own stuff. Too lazy to move it to another file though. Oh, we're at our exception. All right, so it didn't even get past that part though. So let's see what blew up. All right, our exception. Status code indicates 404 not found. Let's look inside of our user data, see if there's anything useful in there. Data, result view, HTTP content. Sorry, that page does not exist. On our Twitter one. But I am just going to just for kicks, let's just steal the whole thing to make sure I'm not doing something wrong. Although that looks right to me, I'm sorry. Run again. We should cache this image. Well, pointless to cache the image because we want it to be fresh every time. Done. Exception. Why is that breakpoint off though? I used to have one there. All right. Authorization required. This should be authenticated requires true. I wonder if with the post code, if I'm not adding the authentication headers, that should. We're not going to be able to see that code from here, are we? No, we're not. So, yeah, that should have headers. And our other posting stuff worked. Wonder if I need to do something with adding the tokens in somehow to this. That's totally doable if we have to. So let's go to the init. Did they give us a example? Oh, they're doing all those up there. That's nice. We can do those as query parameters. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, now how are they doing? Are they doing that for the append as well? That will simplify this a lot. Okay, I like it. So for this first one, and this will let us know if there's just an auth issue as well. So we don't have to post anything into there. We just need to post null, and this is our query parameters equals params. I like that more anyway. All right, let's run that and see if that works. And that'll let me know if I have something with an auth bug with it not putting the auth tokens in when we post it to. It's making me log in. It didn't do that before. I must not force authentication. Why is it making me? Didn't we just tweeted this? Why is it making me log in? Paste. Should not have done that. All right, it's still gonna error on me. What's our error this time? It obviously did. It could be something with my signing. Oh, the Twitter API is nasty. It is really nasty. I thought I had all the signing right. So inside the Twitter API, we have this whole get signature thing. So what it does is you have to order, this one downside to using query parameters is they have to be ordered, signature created based off of them. And yeah, it does that. And it computes the hash. Do I have to send those in alphabetical too? I thought I'd deal with that. All right, so let's look through really quick. Send message. Headers, sorted dictionary. Yes, you have to sort this nonsense. All right, so do I also have to sort their headers and I'm not? So here are headers, key values, new sorted dictionary. Yeah, I have a sorted dictionary and it's doing it. Add those headers in. So that's sorted, so it does. Data is that, get all of that out. The parameters now uses sorry if you heard that screaming, there was really loud screaming in my background. Kids all got home if you didn't catch on from earlier. Alright, I'm getting towards the end of how long I wanted to go. I wanted to be finished around, or be finished by now, but this is really perplexing to me. Is it giving me anything else in that exception? Run that again. Auth is not fun. Twitter auth is my least favorite. Yeah. Why is it making me log in again? Let's go to our auth storage, see what's going on in here. So it should pull something out for that. It does. So if it fails on authentication, I know it tries to auth again. Well, it tries to refresh tokens, and if those don't work, then it... I wonder if that's what's happening. If it's telling me it's not authenticated, so then it asks me to log in again. Pop that back in. So sad, I thought we'd get this to work. Oh, that's why I had the breakpoint after that console.writeLine. That's why I was getting that funny one. 401 not authorized. I wonder if they give us anything better inside their exception. Is it with the signature? Is it invalid or expired tokens? How is that possible? Those are fresh tokens. You don't get any fresher than that. Okay, what we can do is let's throw in, I'm not subclassing Twitter API, so let's just do this. Class my Twitter API, and we need the same exact overloads. I'm just gonna copy that because I'm lazy. You'll notice a trend here. I'm very lazy with my code, so I do this nonsense all the time. So public, my Twitch API, except instead of passing over like I did, I need to pass over everything the same. It needs to be identifier, client ID, client secret. That looks about the same. Well, that's really weird. Why is it saying that handler doesn't go? Okay. Okay. Perfect. Got that. Now what we can do is we can override. What method did I want to? I want to override after. Dang it! Open Slack again. Where's quit? Where's quit? The icons are so tiny. Okay. Yes, I know you quit. I need to just remove it from my dock when I do these live streams. I don't accidentally do it. All right. So after it adds the tokens, it's going to do the send message. Send message goes through and does all that. But I want to inject. All right. We're just going to override this whole thing. So that way we can see what's going on in there. Nice when you have source to a library and you can just override things. Do debug. I actually don't need all of this .NET PCL stuff anymore. If. Just gonna make it easier to read by removing all this. Oh, compute hash. Is that not public? System.web. That comes from OAuth. That doesn't sound right. That OAuth token must be protected. Well, that's fun. I'll find out really quick. OAuth API. Token's not listed there. Under OAuth account. Where'd it come from? Okay, something must not have posted right because the code I'm looking at does not have that anywhere in SimpleAuth. Source. Just Twitter. How does Twitter have a thing called? Oh, it exists in. Oh, never mind. It has to do with me. Okay. I was like, that made no sense. Okay, so we're going to put a thing there. So that could be it, though. Maybe the current account isn't, something's not right with it. Using system.web. Do that. Compute hash, I'm not going to be able to do. So we're just going to comment that out and know it's not going to work. And I just want to see what's going on with this headers and make sure our headers are coming in. All right, now all we have to do is in my Twitter API, you have this one. Oh, one error. Okay, something's really, really odd. Let's update and make sure I am on the latest. That way my source will match, but it should be. Run that again. I am really confused why that's complaining. Okay, this is, oh, Twitch API, typos. That makes a lot more sense. Going crazy with that. So I bet that compute hash now will work. I think that's protected. It is, it is. Now here we can go back to OAuth token. Nope, that's not protected. Okay. And okay, get our tokens out. Those puppies come out. I wonder if that's a generic message that they just threw. Token is empty. I am doing an invalid token. So what I need to do, if authenticated is, Oh, the Twitter API has a bug. If authenticated, I want to grab the same code I use in other ones. That makes so much sense. Okay, simple auth. Authenticated API. I do a thing on send message. Most APIs don't, this is the only one I have that overrides that. So that is special case here. So send message. I do the verify account. So I thought it was right here. Maybe I do it at the API level. I do it at the API level. All right, so send message. I just want to see exactly what I do. If authenticate, await verify credentials. That is missing in our Twitter one. Yay, I have something to fix in my library. That's our problem. That's why we're not getting tokens. Why it got this far down without noticing. All right, so now, no, my token is still null. Okay, let's look at Twitter. Because Twitter was doing something where it was setting. I don't know why that would be. Okay, Twitter Authenticator. Let's look up here where it does the authentication. Get auth from auth code. So it's saying I don't save that Twitter Authenticator for some strange reason, and this is protect that I'm not gonna be able to get access to. That account off. Okay, let's do some debugging. Luckily it's my library and I know it well enough to do this. All right, so current OAuth account should have something in there. As a client ID, has stuff in there. Actually, one sec, I'm gonna censor because it's showing all kinds of fun stuff. I just don't want to be flashing my tokens all over, so I have a refresh token. Why don't I have a token? Okay, I'm gonna log in this time. No, I'll log in had to have happened. Or else, which token is that? All right, I can bring you guys back. Okay, because inside of OAuth API, the OAuth API, it will automatically use that token. We can look at that code really quick. It will do a, what's it called? It's called something about prepare. No, not prepare. Gets the tokens, prepare client. There it is. And so that uses current account.token. This token has to get set. It uses that token to verify if this account is valid. So it has a check where it verifies if the refresh token, so there's the verify. Maybe that's not, oh no, it does account.is valid. So I remember that code now. So inside the providers, I have a Twitter account. It's the Twitter account saying it's valid. Is valid. If the OAuth secret is not valid, because I need that to do all the signing stuff, and the white space token is not valid. So obviously it's saying this account's valid, but then that's empty. Mind blown. All right, so let's put a breakpoint right here. And make sure it thinks this thing is okay, if authenticated. False? Why is this set to false? If, what am I doing wrong? That is this initial post. It defaults to true. I'm not crazy. It defaults to true. For some reason, it thinks it's not authenticated. That would make a lot of sense. Because then it's not going to go refresh. It's not going to go get tokens. something is setting this to false along the way. Let's check out this call stack. So, oh, it's not supposed to at this point. This is because it's not get credentials, get initial URL. Okay, it's trying to authenticate because the stuff that it had was not valid. So it's doing that first. So let's log in first. When it gets initial URL, it has to do a handshake back and forth. That initial one is not. So since it thinks it's logged out, things are wrong. Let's paste this in. Now it's going to come back, and this is a different request. This one is swapping out tokens. It still isn't going to be authenticated. Ignore that. Which request is this? This is the upload. This one is authenticated. All right. So I didn't need the first two. Man, sanity checks are crazy. All right. So we have a token. No, we don't have a token. These tokens all keep getting invalidated, so it's fine. All right, I'm gonna have to dig into this. I'm out of time on this. I'm gonna have to dig into the library, and I need the full library source. So I need to know what is going on and why it's not caching the stuff it's supposed to. Because it obviously grabbed them. It obviously worked, and then it didn't because the login happened. The account says it's valid. So let's just do immediate window dot it says it's not valid. So how did it get past the await verify credentials? Questions, questions, questions. I'm breaking it. This right here, not using the right OAuth token, me overriding it broke it. I need that token that is cached in there. And so I have broken it by overriding this one. So I need to do it with the real source code or else I'm never going to get it figured out. It could be a signature issue. It could be a token issue. They're not very good at telling you exactly why it failed. It could be with my multi-part stuff, but this first one's normal, so it should post just fine. So, all right. I think I'm gonna call it a day for my stream. If you guys, if anything comes to you on why it works or whatnot, yeah, let me know. Ask questions. Thanks for the participation, guys. It was great. It helped me move along nicely. I will get this figured out and jump back on. Yeah, I'll do another stream next week about this. Maybe next week I'll jump on and actually we'll actually debug the Twitter stuff that's not working. So we'll get it figured out, and I'll definitely let you guys know what it is if I find it out ahead of time. So thanks for joining, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, always reach out, Twitter, email, however you want. Ask me questions. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about. If you guys want me to dig into new things or interesting things or build new. This entire stream came because David Orton was like, hey, I need a utility to do this. You should make one. Well, he phrased it as I needed it, but he wanted it as well. So feel free to ask me to work on stuff. Or I've got my Gmusic set stream I'm doing every week where I build a Xamarin iOS app. And it's Xamarin Forms, so it's iOS and Android. I'm porting a Xamarin iOS app over. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll talk to you guys later.